Welcome to Session 0 for the very next Roguelike Rumbles. I am your hostess with the mostest, Lady Destiny. Our next Roguelike Rumble is going to take place on July 18th, which is, when this streams, it'll be like 2 days from now, because this Session 0 will be going out on Tuesday the 16th. But we hope you all come out to join us if you are in the Burbank area, and if you're not, you can definitely stream to Twitch. We very recently made it possible for audience members to participate with the interaction of the Roguelike Rumbles that make this what it is. So if you want to buy heroes, health potions, lair actions, or magic items through the Twitch stream, you will be able to do that. But I'm going to disappear for now and pass you over to the Dungeon Master of the day. And because I'm not wholly sure on how to pronounce this, I'm going to have them introduce themselves.
Well, hello. My name is Tûrarnediad Thuringweth, but you can just call me Dad. I will be your Dungeon Master for this particular adventure. You all meet in a tavern. What an original story I have up my sleeve. Let's push in on our first hero. Tondrak, who are you? What do you look like? And how do you arrive at the Roguelike Tavern? And where do you sit?
Tondrak is a very large half-orc barbarian. You see him, he's kind of, sitting there. He's enjoying himself a nice tankard of ale. And he's got pretty standard half-orc features. He's got the teeth that stick out from the bottom. He has a few kind of facial tattoos and things like that. And he is very kind of in his own world. He kind of is just focused in on drinking his beer. He's kind of solitary, sitting there drinking, and he has made his way to the Roguelike Taverns after having been a huge fan of the Rumbles for years. His mom, so just to give a little bit of backstory, his mother was an orc and a fearsome barbarian, and she raised him to be a warrior. But his father was a human anthropologist who came to study our clan, and in doing so fell deeply, madly in love with my mother. She taught me to be a warrior, but he taught me to speak, to read, to understand the world around me. And as such, I am a man of two minds. I'm must say that, my mom bringing me here, I enjoyed watching the pageantry, the battle, the blood, everything about that. But also as, an anthropologist, really enjoying kind of the human aspect of all of this, when people fell in love and everything about this. And I'm just thrilled to be a part of this, honestly, and honestly to be here and to be potentially playing with people who have been in the Rumbles before is something that I am very, very excited about. I came here on my own volition and just kind of wandered in to have a drink at the bar.
Well, the Roguelike is a simple neighborhood tavern, one that, upon first glance, of course, no one would notice the notorious history of this storied place. But you, of course, being a well-educated man, know a thing or two. Tell me, are you drinking your mother's favorite drink or your father's?
I tend to follow my father's tastes in that regard. My mother appreciated a dark mead, something heavy, something that, could get her drunk relatively quickly. My father, however, enjoyed savoring his beverages. So I enjoy a nice, light, flavorful ale, something that has maybe a little bit of fruit to it. I don't know, something a little bit extra, something that's not just hops and water, for me.
Well, we love the fruit of Awesomus crossed lovers.
Mm.
As you sit and enjoy your drink, Humble, who are you? What do you look like? And how do you arrive at the Roguelike Tavern? Where do you sit?
Well, Humble comes in, the door slams open, and she's like dripping when she comes in. You don't know if it's from sweat, if she was in the ocean or something, but she's like kind of panting, a little frazzled, but still has this big smile on her face, despite the fact that her hair has like puffed up like twice the size it normally is due to the heat and humidity of the outside. As she walks in, there's this kind of brightness about her. She's in this very sunshiny dress with flowers all over the bodice that she has. In her hand, she carries a staff with flowers that bloom up out of the top of it, like she's like pulled up a whole tree, like a young tree, I guess, and is kind of walking around with it. She is a tiefling, with two big ram-like horns on either side of her head. Her skin is a rosy, petally pink color, with these like bright, luminous blue eyes that are kind of shining out as she looks around the bar. And immediately she sees that there's an empty seat at a table next to this rather intimidating, maybe I don't know, Tondrak, are you looking serious, stoic as you sit?
Yeah, stoic, but as you walk in, you see him kind of light up a little bit. He's like, oh, never been in the company of a tiefling before, and I'm curious to know more about you.
It's that moment of eye contact that Humble takes as this is an invitation. I'm gonna go sit with this guy right now. And she just like sits down. She goes, oh, can you believe how high it is out there? I mean, my goodness, it's like, oh.
It is rather warm, yes.
Oh, I just wish that we had the rains from earlier this year back, but you know, Melora will serve. I know she will, but that's why I'm here today, to get honor in Melora's name, so that the storms will come back and the flowers and the seasons to Las Asimas, because it seems like we're in perpetual summer, you know. So
I mean,
anyway.
yeah, it does. It is hot. It's partly why I wore no sleeves. I don't know if it. Is this your only outfit, or is there something a little bit more accustomed to the heat that you could wear?
Listen, you know, I like to wear the garments that celebrates the plants that Melora allows us to grow into the world. So cotton, as you know, is one of the most. It's a breathable fabric, but it's also. You know, it's a lot. If I had my own option, then I would wear nothing at all and just be as close to nature as possible. But you can't really come into society like that. So you know, here I am, dressed to the nines, as you will.
Listen, I do appreciate good nudity myself.
Don't we all? Well, perhaps we can talk to Lady Destiny and figure out if there's a way that we could work that into a Roguelike Rumble perhaps in the future. When I was told that I had to be clothed, I was a little bit upset, but you know, if I win and bring glory back to Melora, then hopefully there'll be rainstorms aplenty and cloud cover and more shade from the trees and all that good stuff that'll bring a little bit of coolness back to our summer months.
As you all enjoy your lovely conversation, an uncharacteristic thing happens that the roguelike is not necessarily known for. Usually friendly barkeeps and the like, but today, across the counter of the bar, ever so quietly, you hear something not of Melora, the footsteps of an automation. One step, the other, clipping across the counter, only a few feet tall, but it comes and brings you a menu, Humble.
Oh, thank you very much. What's on the menu? What do I see anything?
What do you want to drink? Anything of note that you would normally find in a tavern is available. It's still just a simple neighborhood tavern, don't you know?
Oh, well, in that case, I think a gin drink with elderflower liqueur, sort of like fancy something flowery would be nice. I don't know. What are you drinking, Tondrak?
Well, I highly recommend this this fruit-crossed ale that I found here. Just excuse me. And he takes out a little book and he just starts writing down notes a little bit. He's kind of like, But yes, the fruit-crossed ale.
Automation is writing. as quickly as his little hand can, scribbling notes, and then just gives you a curt nod before holding out a small pincer for the menu back.
Oh, I don't think she understands that initially, and like plucks a flower from her staff and puts it in its little hand. And then when that is not accepted, maybe, I don't know, she's like, oh, right, menu, here you go.
It keeps the flower, tucks it inside of some
Cute.
sort of inner compartment, and turns to leave. And as it does, we find our next adventurer, Thalia. Who are you? What do you look like? And how does this veteran of the Rumble bring herself to the Roguelike Tavern?
Well, I'm so very glad you asked. Thalia is a almost 6 foot tall humanoid. She's got kind of like long, wavy, dark brown hair that's sort of ombres to amber at the tips, but just on one side as it is shaved off on the other side. She's got one golden brown eye, and then the other eye is cloudy as there's a big red scar running right through it from like right above her eyebrow to right to like her cheek. She is dressed in all black and long sleeve and studded leather armor. And she's very toned and like beefy and like very, very intimidating. Always has a resting bitch face. And the only color you would see on her, as everything else is black, is she wears a midnight blue cloak that has light gray fur on the hood and on the inside of it. And it's like very striking against this kind of all black exterior. And she has this like massive great sword strapped to her back. And I think she enters, and I think normally would enter this bar, maybe not in the best way, having competed here several times and lost every single time. And so I think before this, she would have entered this bar in like a little state of dread. I think this time though, she sort of enters and kind of like takes a deep breath as she enters to be like, this time it's gonna be different, and would see two of you sitting at a table and make a beeline for the bar and not sit with
The moment Thalia walks in, Tondrak loses his mind. He's like, oh my god, it's Thalia! No way are we battling with Thalia. This is insane. Oh my god, I'm starstruck. I don't know what to do. What am I supposed to do?
Are you
not friends? I'm a huge fan.
Oh, we should call her over. Hey!
No. Hey. Oh.
Hi, Thalia, right? It's Thalia, right? Hi.
She's like at the bar. She's been hearing this conversation and has been doing the thing where she's like, oh no. And then you're calling on her. She goes, hi.
Hi, come sit with us. Apparently we're all fighting together. Tondrak, here. I'll move over so you can have the chair next to her. And I get up and like shift over and leave an empty chair, and I'm like patting it very enthusiastically. Come on, hurry! We just ordered drinks. It's not too late. You can join us.
And I think she sort of like considers for a second, goes, you all have, your accent is throwing me off, Kate. I have to be like, don't copy it. And she just goes, oh, fuck. And like kind of reluctantly comes over and goes, let me guess, first time, yeah?
Yes, and first time meeting you as well. I can't believe I can't. Oh my god!
Gosh, you should totally get her to sign something of yours. That would be like the perfect thing.
That's a great idea. Humble.
No,
and,
that is not necessary. It's not that.
I'll go get
please,
a pen.
It would be my absolute honor to have something signed by the great Thalia. And so you see him set up against the table is a big old great axe, and with one hand he just kind of spins it around and like flips it down and like passes it to you. It looks like it should be heavy for anybody else, and he's just like, please, if you wouldn't mind.
Signing things is more like Rat King's territory. You sure you do not want to ask him to sign something? I do not really get asked for autograph.
No. I'm a lover of your battle prowess. I have seen the way that your mind works on the battlefield, and I am absolutely just enamored. Please, it would be my greatest honor.
Can I insight check him to see if he's lying?
Please.
Oh.
Just for fun.
God.
Let's have a little roll, just as a treat.
Have some confidence, Thalia.
She's lost 3 times, and anytime she runs into somebody that knows her, they just make fun of her, the fact that she's lost 3 times.
That's so sad.
I want you all to know that I am the running joke at the Rumble. If I go just for fun, if Lady Destiny or somebody makes a reference to the fact that I've lost 3 times every time I'm there, which I think is very funny, and I love it. That is a 7. So great.
I mean, it really seems like he is. I mean, he's been a fan of the Rumbles for years, and so it seems like he's actually very genuinely like has watched your battles. He's kind of picked them apart in terms of like how you've done things and the things and he says, I think you have been completely robbed every single time. You should have won 3 times, not lost 3 times.
I think she
with the pen.
I think she like does the she blinks a couple times at you and goes, okay, who put you up to this? Was it Papillon? I bet it was Papillon. Was it who did?
No, I don't know Papillon. I wish I did.
As you
God, I wish she was here to hear that.
The humbleness of your particular stature within the Rumble, Fairyda, who are you? What do you look like? How did you arrive at the Roguelike Tavern? And where do you sit in this bustle?
Well, okay, so I'm Fairyda Kahlo. I flew over from my home in the east of, I guess, Las Asimas proper, where real life Monterey Park is. And in this world, I talked to Sarah about maybe doing something called like Ramona Park, I think, named for someone in the history of Monterey Park. I come over. I'm a fairy. I'm about 1 foot tall, and like maybe 10 pounds. I am wearing an appropriate size for a fairy Hawaiian shirt. It's very hot. I seem to have been sweating. Shorts. I also have shorts on. She probably would just descend into the room, and seeing everything would take a moment. Like, it's very chaotic. It seems very chaotic in here with all the loud, these large people, a lot of swinging big axes around, and great swords. She'd probably just zip over to the bar and sit down. She is also wings. I forgot to mention are like hummingbird wings, basically. And she has like black hair, dark brown eyes, and skin is like sort of like iridescent, like a lighter, like purpley green kind of a thing going on, but like fleshy like a human. Yeah, she's come over from her community. She has like some notes in her, like a notebook that she's referencing as she enters to look around and make sure that this is the right place. And then all the guy throwing the axe around kind of confirms that this seems probably to be it.
As you finish your look around, your surveying of the region, one of those automations that's about your height, actually, approaches you with a menu out that is, again, about your height. Silently holds it out to you.
Have I ever seen something like this?
They're unique.
Okay. I'd probably take a moment to like take that in. and maybe slowly, cautiously reach a hand out and take the menu.
And as you do, you all also notice a clock. And for those of you who have been to the Rumble, this one is pronounced, and any timekeeping devices that you might have heard before are quiet in comparison. But the menu is handed off, and drinks are ordered, signatures are had, and a door opens. Another of those automations, only about knee height for some of you, appears in the room with a little ding, 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 ding.
Is there some sort of announcement?
Oh, that is very different.
Yes, I haven't seen anything like this either.
It extends an arm, very robotically, towards the door that those of you who have been here before know to be the direction of the Rumble.
Tondrak gets a little, like, butterflies in his stomach a little bit. He's like, oh my god, I get to go in. I get to go in. Ha! He stands up and he starts making his way there.
Wait, are we starting? Okay. She like skips after him, very excited.
I'll follow everyone else.
As I pass the little automaton. Is somebody not going to greet us or tell us what's going on? That's usually how it works.
It just gives itself a little point, shrugs what is a very boxy figure that doesn't really have shoulders, and points you down the staircase that you know is there.
As Thalia goes down the staircase, just, you better not fucking fly this time. Just continues down with everybody else.
As you all descend this long, storied staircase, at the bottom, you can hear the source of that ticking sound. And you notice that even the automation that follows you at the tail tends to tick. You reach the bottom, and there at the end, you see a very tall, resplendent, absolutely divine elven figure. About 6 feet tall, long, pointed ears, wearing luxurious robes that look like they're fitted for, I don't know, lounging about. You see the Grand Master Tûrarnediad Thuringweth. Hello, everyone. My name is
Hi.
Oh, sorry.
Tûrarnediad Thuringweth. I will be your, we'll call me a master of ceremonies for tonight. But you may all call me Dad. That's what my friends call me.
Are we your friends?
Well, maybe after a revivify or two, but we can start there.
Well,
Welcome.
Dad, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, that's a really good dad joke.
Ooh, a dad joke. I like that. Makes all of my jokes dad jokes. Welcome to the Roguelike Rumbles. And as he motions around, wide, around a room that is almost pitch black, you see 4 spotlights all hit what is an otherwise formless, vast room full of ominous ticking. Each of them lands on a box. Just a small metal box about a foot tall. And at the very top of it is a crank. To get you all situated, we're going to do a little getting to know you adventure before we all kill each other for sport.
Really?
So, ahead of you are a box for each of you. Why don't you give them a little crank and show us what you can do, dears?
Wait, should we go one at a time so we can all watch each other, or all at the same time? And also, who are you? And I turned to Fairyda because we did not meet. I'll go first.
No, thanks.
How about you, Tondrak?
Yeah, I'm happy to go first. Unless Thalia wants to. I mean, she's...
It's different every time, and it's one of those fucking puzzles. Go ahead.
All you have to do for these ones is turn the crank, dears, and they'll do the rest.
All right, works for me. And he walks up to the first box that he can see and starts to turn the crank.
As you turn, you hear the click, 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 as gears begin to form in motion, and an arm pops out. And then another one, and the more you crank it, the more it grows, actually, taller and taller and taller, until it is about humanoid height. We'll say an average 5'5". A box at the bottom, a shield that pops out of the front panel, an arm that pops out holding an invisible weapon, but you can see that the hand is closed, and it pivots towards you aggressively.
As kind of second nature, Tondrak takes a quick step back and pulls his great axe, and he says, well, this is an interesting thing. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, go on then. Show us what you can do.
Well, all right. Just don't judge me too harshly for what happens when I'm angry. And then he just kind of like takes a second, and he just... And as he does so, hair that wasn't there before kind of grows from his chest. There's more hair on his forearms. They're big, like his fingernails lengthen a little bit, and he gets this kind of like the teeth grow. And as he does that, swinging from out of his like beneath his tank top that he's wearing, is a little bear totem. And he says, Tondrak does not like to get like this all the time. But in order to show you what Tondrak can do, here. And he swings his axe towards the weapon arm, specifically trying to lop it off.
Ooh, by all means, please roll an attack.
All right. That is a dirty 20.
Fantastic. How do you lop off the arm and, for the time being, deactivate my little friend?
So you see this like the hair grow and his muscles kind of bulge, and then he just looks at this thing, grabs the shield, and then with one hand with the great axe just swings it through, clean cut through the shoulder joint of the arm that shut out.
It rends the metal arm off completely, and somehow that is like a crack in a stone, and the whole thing falls apart, but it doesn't turn to stone or anything like that. It's just little pieces of metal tinkling down like rain. Good show.
Tondrak is proud of that one. And
Who's next?
And as he like relaxes, all the hair goes away, his nails go normal, his teeth shrink. He's like, sorry about that. I am not necessarily proud of that side of myself.
Sorry, I just got really excited.
Shouldn't apologize. We're here for the blood sport, dear.
That is fair.
If Thalia or this
Oh, I'm Fairyda Kahlo.
Say that one more time.
Fairyda Kahlo.
Sounds so familiar.
Yes.
I get that a lot. I get that sometimes. Yeah.
Did sound familiar.
It's a common name in my community. So maybe.
I see. I didn't know that there were common names for fairies, but you learn something new every day. And I think I could go next if that's all right. If Dad says it's okay.
Absolutely, dear.
Okay, thank you, Dad. And she runs up to the next box and starts turning the crank, and I imagine
the same thing occurs.
Thing happens. And so she is gonna kind of like get her stance ready. and you see she like smashes the little tree that she's carrying into the floor, and the petals kind of like fan out, and something kind of like the top of a morning star, except it's gold, so it almost looks like the sun like pops out of the top. This like spiky golden ball. And she goes, "Okay, I'm ready. So I just hit it whenever, or
If you don't hit it soon enough, that ticking sound will turn into a spear.
Oh, okay.
So you should do it sooner rather than later.
Got it. All right. Well then, she is going to first bonus action swing at it. So you hear this like large, like loud booming noise that escapes from her. Am I rolling for this? I'm sorry.
Yes, please roll an attack.
Hopefully I hit. That would be embarrassing. Okay, that is a 17 to hit.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. So it's gonna be a weapon attack, but this is a smite action that she's doing, thunderous smite. So weapon attack plus thunder damage.
What does it look like as you thunder apart this automation?
So she slams this morning star down, kind of on the shoulder again for this weapon bearing arm. She saw how well that worked last time. And you just hear this loud like boom, and you see almost like the air ripple around the creature, some of the metal like crunching back as she does damage to it.
It shrapnels apart.
Nice.
A colorful display.
That was fun.
There's 2 more of my little friends out for now. Who's next? Oh, Fairyda.
I'll go ahead and conjure a mage hand and use the mage hand to crank it.
Mm-hmm,
and
absolutely.
stay like
what
a
does
good
your
little
mage
distance
hand
away.
look like?
It looks like a like shimmery gray light purple, I guess, hand. It's like a humanoid sized hand. Just disembodied, about 2/3 of the size of Fairyda herself. So she just uses that one to crank the. Seems like it would make more sense.
And it appears.
Great. Yeah, same. I mean, I guess first thing I would do is like look at it, try to understand like if it can move. I'm very curious if it seems like it can move at all.
As it cranks up, there's still more inner workings as it grows and grows and grows, and
it
what
seems
was
to
said
be
before is true. It will keep growing and
Yes.
sprouting various tools, and perhaps you see that there might be legs or some sort of movement ability in there, but you would have to wait quite a while.
Sure. Okay, yeah. Then I'll just look at it, puzzle over how much this thing can grow, and then pull out. I have folded up, like I guess bound. It's a book of signatures for a petition to build a community fountain or like a community pool in Ramona Park. I've been sent here to raise money by winning to build a community pool and a fairy fountain because it's simply too hot, and all of our local government's money is tied up in other bond obligations for municipal repairs. So I made a pact with my our fairy patron queen, Judith, who blessed me with this power to come here and compete. And I'll pull out the book of petitions and sort of channel the power in it, and fire off a couple of eldritch blasts at the thing in front of me, the construct.
Go ahead and roll and show us what Judith's got you working with.
Okay, let's take a look. So there'll be 2 different attacks. The first one's a dirty 20. Second one's a 25.
What does it look like as you rocket apart this poor automation?
I think there's some. It actually, I guess it hits the. You could. it does a lot of damage, and also you can tell, probably just so everybody can, in fairness, like to understand like the effects that they might be up against as other competitors. It pushes the construct like 20 feet away, like across, skidding to the other side of the room, and like blows it all up. And
It pushes
Fairyda
it into the darkness.
Into the darkness, exactly.
You do hear it impact something back there, but you can't quite see it.
Oh.
Tondrak has pulled out his book again and is kind of taking notes as everybody's kind of going. He's just kind of like, okay, interesting.
Yeah, I'm also taking notes. Farida's certainly taking notes as well.
Humble is just clapping, enjoying.
Hell yeah.
Very excited.
Vibes, dude. Yes, absolutely.
Thalia, under her breath, just goes, "Fucking magic casters."
Good show, Fairyda. I love a little Eldritch Blast here and there. Last but certainly not least, will you please grace us with your skills, Thalia?
Okay. And she will go up to the last box, and she will preemptively pull her greatsword out. And you all would have sort of seen, like, a hesitancy to Thalia's demeanor. And as soon as the greatsword is in her hand, you, like, see her relax. And you're like, oh, okay, this is like her thing. And I will crank open the box.
It boom, 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 grows before your very eyes.
And I will take my greatsword and attack it.
Please roll your attack.
Okay, that is a 17 to hit.
That definitely hits. It's a little box.
And she's gonna take the greatsword in both hands and like plunge it directly down the middle of this box.
The head shape is not really a head. Again, it's a box. I'm sorry, these are prototypes. And the head itself deflects part of it, but not all of it, not enough, and you get between the paneling, and it goes straight through, and that lovely spinning top stops. The ticking motion inside stops, because it just sits there skewered on your greatsword, and when you remove it, it all falls apart like slag.
She removes it and does like flips it
Hooray!
and puts it back on her back. Okay, that.
Wow.
I
fly like a little further off the ground and further away from Thalia. Just like a little.
And Tondrak is like, it's even more incredible in person.
That is
bravo.
something. Oh.
It should be noted that whole time Humble was chanting for Thalia under her breath, like Thalia, because I feel like she's an empath. She could sense the hesitancy.
Tondrak was doing the exact same thing.
I do not know how cheering for your competitor is going to go very well in a fight where we all have to kill each other, but you do you.
It's because then you won't expect what I have up my sleeves.
I have
exactly
played
true.
enough of this to expect the unexpected. So
To me, battle is
Isn't
battle.
that
It's the best way to
true?
get friends.
Well,
It's true.
each and every one of you are going to be marvelous. Though, as you know, only one of you can win. The rest of you, we have our lovely clerics to revivify you after. But in the meantime, please go aesthetically revivify yourself, and we'll see you in a little while.
So cool.
Incredible.
oh, here we go again.
I'm gonna start doing some stretches.
And with
Just like
that,
some-
you all
some
are
light warming
showed to your little green rooms where you're able to get a nice long rest and eat some meals before the rumble begins. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We hope you did. Hopefully you chose which champion you're going to cheer for, and we'll see you out at the Roguelike this Thursday, July 18th. Gameplay starts at 8. but pre-show questing starts at 7. So if you want to start earning the rewards to interact with the game, be there at 7. Twitch stream will probably start around 7:30. And again, Twitch stream, you can have just as much interactivity with the game as our in-person crowd does. So we hope one way or another to see you there. Bye.
Bye.